Alright, hey everybody. Come on in, come on in. Let me make sure everybody is here. Come on in. Make sure our guest is here. What's up, people? Hello. Hello.
Wow.
Hello, hey girl. I'm waiting on my people. Let me make sure she is aware that I am here. Here we go. Come on in, people. Ask me if I want to go live with Side Speaks. Hey, girl. Say not today. Not today. Hope everybody is well. Happy Monday. Marvelous Monday. Today is going to be a good one. A good live because we do have our commissioner-elect joining us today. Hope everybody is doing well. Don't forget to send in your questions to raisingoursonsinamerica@gmail.com and all that good stuff. You can also join our movement, raisingoursonsinamerica.org. Come on in the room. That song is in my head. It's always in my head when we go live. So how have you guys been? Listen, my hearts and my prayers are with the family of Naya Rivera. Sadly, they did find her. But we're just praying for her. We lift up prayers for her, for she and her family. Well, actually prayers for her son and her family as they go through this difficult time of grieving. But it's just so much going on in the world. Just don't lose focus. Stay focused on just your purpose. That's one of the things that we talked about. There's another group that one of my girlfriends has. It's called Proud Mob, Proud Mothers of Black Boys. And that's one of the things that she asked to the group was, during this time, what are you guys feeling? What keeps you motivated? And I thought that was a very probing question because it's so easy to be unmotivated during this time. But we know that in those trying times that we keep our eyes fixed and focused on God and focused on Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith, that we'll be okay. Our all of our help comes from the Lord. But anyway, again, welcome. 3 pillars of our village, again, is safety, sanitary, and structure. Don't forget to follow us on all of our platforms, all that good stuff. If your son is in need of affirmations, there is 31-day affirmations. Listen, somebody sent me a text today about her son. Lisa Sorrell sent me a video, and I'm going to post it. It's a video and a picture of her son, and every day they do the daily affirmations from the book, and she asked him to tell her 5 points that he learned, that he got from the book, and he took it. I think he did day 15, and day 15 is God has not given us a spirit of fear, but it's given us a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. And she sent me the video of him explaining it, and it's powerful. So I am going to post it later. But anyway, hey, Mama Alice. Hey, Jamaica Paparazzi in the house. But real quickly, so if you want to just drop in the comments, what are you guys doing to stay motivated? Yeah, to stay motivated during this time. Personally, I take bubble baths. I read my word. I make sure I pray. And just, do all kind of things because we do have to exercise our minds as well. Okay. Where am I? So segment 1, I do want to go ahead and introduce my guest. I don't see her yet. Let me see. But anyway, so we're going to have on Alana Sanders. She is the commissioner-elect in District 3 in Newton County. And let me just tell you about this girl. She is, I really admire her because the campaign was grassroots. It was, not really a whole lot of money. And she ran a clean campaign. She didn't do any trash talking or anything like that, and she actually ran against an incumbent of 12 years in this county, and she won. And I truly believe it's because of her just her stance and her integrity. Not saying that the other candidate didn't have any integrity, but just saying she, based on her integrity, I believe that spoke volumes for her. But let me see where she is. Quick technical difficulties. Hey guys, so while we're talking, if you guys know of any grant writers, let me know. I want to know. I want some grant writers. Not saying that I can't write a grant, but yeah, I'd rather pay somebody who knows how to do that. But anyway, how are you guys physical distancing? How does that look as far as your parenting? What kind of creative things are you doing with your children? I know one person posted in the group, she and her son went bike riding, rented some electric bikes downtown, and it was the cutest thing. She had her son sitting in the back, it's like a little, I guess, cart basket. I don't know. I'm not a bike rider, clearly. But had her son sitting in the cart on the back of the bike, and they just went bike riding. I said, that was so cool. Yeah, I can't do that because I don't know how to ride a bike, but it looks cool. Maybe we can spin together. Playing soccer. My kids love to play soccer. So what kind of things are you guys doing with your kids? What are you doing with your boys? How are you keeping them entertained? Do you have little fidget, what do you call the things? Fidget boards where you put little different items on the board and you let your kids play with it. Especially for boys. They're going to need some things to like fidget with and play with and all of that kind of stuff. But anyway, how is physical distancing affecting, how you're parenting during this time? But I'm going to pause here to make sure okay, sorry y'all, she's coming. Oh, Jamaica said they've been busy working around the house, cleaning, organizing. Yet, listen, so I need some tips on organizing a garage because I know we need to get shelves, but my husband went out and bought some little hooks to hang up the bikes. We did that. But if you guys know of any hacks for a garage, organizing a garage, holler at me. Let me know. And then I'm seeing a lot of people planting things. Oh, everybody has a green thumb except me. I don't know what is going on. So I go outside and I planted some banana trees. They're actually banana plants because they're not really trees, but I planted some banana plants and they're slowly, they're coming along, but I have found myself stalking people's banana plants. Like I'll be driving and I'll see somebody with some nice tall banana plants and I'm like, this is how they're supposed to look, huh? Well, mine are getting there. Slowly but surely. So I think I'm getting ready to resort to some pots and putting some vegetables and some herbs in pots because just putting stuff in the ground just doesn't seem to be working for me. So anywho, so right now I just feel like I'm rambling because I really don't want to be talking to myself. I really want you guys to hear from this powerhouse. I hope she comes on soon. I think she's trying to navigate her way to this page. But until she comes, segment 2 talks about being sanitary. It talks all about how to keep yourself clean and clutter-free. How are you using this time to find your purpose? Especially a lot of healthcare workers and a lot of educators are really at a crossroads right now as to where to move forward in the profession. So I would ask you guys, if you could do anything at this time, if you could just start all over and reinvent yourself, what are some of the things you would do? What would you do differently? A lot of people are turning to the entrepreneurial ventures. What kind of things are you guys doing? Are you writing books? Are you tutoring? Are you doing photography? What kind of things are you guys taking up? Because I want to know. The village wants to know. Have you guys heard about the Susu? Anybody participating in the Susu? That's where it's like a collective group. You know, they talk about the flower and the water and all of that. But I'd like to hear from you guys, your thoughts on that, on participating in the Susu. I'm really thinking about it. Let's see. Oh, there she is. Boom. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on the Susu because I really liked. I think that's something to look into. Collective. It's what is the I forget, but anyway, come back to me on the Susu. So, oh, there she is. It
Hello.
is. It is Commissioner-elect Alana Sanders. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the room. We just
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, we just been kind of chit-chatting it up here until you came. But one of the things you just caught on the tail end, we were talking about just some different things that we're doing around the house, and then also we were just kind of talking about the Susu. Have you ever heard of the Susu? The collective sharing?
I have not.
Girl, okay, so it is this, it's actually something that's been going on in the African community for a long time. Like it's actually per village. And in the village, they actually share, I don't want to go into detail here, but they actually, it's like a collective finance sharing type of thing. And we're not just now, but we're kind of catching wind of it now, especially in the times that we are African Americans are, if you will, coming into our own sort of reparations. So now we're trying to look into not only investing, but how to keep the keep it collective, keep it within the community. So but yeah, I
Mhm.
asked the village to tell me more about it once they learn about it. So hopefully they'll drop their
I
comments.
can't wait.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah, it is very interesting. I'll tell you more about it. But okay, so we're gonna just get right to it. Physical distancing. Of course, this is a time I don't like to call it social distancing because we're really already my pastor talked about us not being socially distant because we're still very social, just in a different way. We're just physically distancing. How has it affected
Okay.
the way that you have been parenting your baby girl? Well, she's not a baby, but you know, how has that affected your parenting since we've been in this thing?
Well, it hasn't really affected us much, and I'm gonna tell you why. I used to homeschool my daughter. I
Wow.
homeschooled her for from 6 years old to about 11.
Okay.
And so she didn't go into the public school system until sixth grade.
Wow.
So it was familiar to her to actually go back into the virtual learning because she did it for so many years.
Gotcha.
So this is actually a normal. It's not a new normal for her. It's a normal for her. So when
Right.
they were talking about going back to the virtual learning, she was like, okay, it was no
Yeah.
problem for her because she was used to that.
Exactly, exactly. So with homeschool, but you know, homeschool, it was a kind of a different layout, a different plan than what we see a lot of the counties laying out now. What was the homeschool layout like? Like as
Well,
far as
actually,
her
it's kind of the
day?
same. Yeah, it's a little bit the same because we
Okay.
went through the public school system homeschooling.
Okay. Oh,
And
okay.
when you there is actually a program, I can't it's a GPC. I can't think of the name of it right now. It's been so long.
Hmm.
But through the actual school board.
Okay.
And the great thing about it is the learning is so far advanced that she was
Hmm.
learning about economics and budgeting and finance when she was
Hmm.
6 years old. So that's why
Wow.
she's so far advanced and grades ahead now because she
Hmm.
was way far advanced and tested out of a lot of the classes in the
Hmm.
grades when she went back. So it was actually, you had a teacher that was there, and it was a group of students that were all homeschooled. You had a
Hmm.
live certified teacher
Okay.
in the school system that taught them every day. Of course, the parents had to be involved to make sure that some of the work actually was done.
Yeah.
But it's almost exactly the same that they're going through now when they had to get out of school for COVID, where the
Gotcha.
teacher was there on Zoom. but they had a program that they actually used, but they had to log in. It was just a part of their attendance every day with the teacher. They had their schoolwork. And the great thing about it is they receive brand new textbooks.
Wow.
Depending on they all receive their own computers. We got a free computer and printer. All of that came. And the science was so far advanced. That's why she probably loves science, because they sent everything from the rock to the science projects to the cylinders. She had all of that was sent to her.
Wow.
And so that was all funded through the public school system, but it was a homeschool program.
Okay. And you mentioned a couple things that I think may be kind of barriers, and the villains can kind of chime in here, because I do see some educators and administrators in there, and some are even asking for more information about the homeschool, as far as the advanced part of it, because I believe the format that you're talking about is probably going to be similar. But let me give you a little bit of context. With the virtual that a lot of the districts are talking about now, the way the virtual is going to look is still going to be a full 8 hours. Homeschool was not a full 8 hours, was it?
It depends on the student.
Okay.
It did depend on the student, because they had schedules when they had to actually go to classes at certain time.
Okay.
The great thing about it is, because during that time I was also traveling, so she was able to come with me. As long as you had a laptop or wherever I had to be, she was able to come with me and still be in school. So that was a plus about that part. But I wouldn't say I was able to give her breaks. Now, looking at the county structure they had 2 formats of virtual. They had one with the 8 hours, and one basically where the student just goes as they I wouldn't say as they feel, but as their actual standard of where they are. And that was how her system was actually set up. They had work that was due at a certain time, but it was required to be within that school day. They went at their own pace.
Okay. And see, a lot of counties are not offering that self-paced, which I think would be best. Self-paced would really be ideal, because you were in a position where, and we're going to talk about later, you being an entrepreneur, you were in a position where you could offer your baby breaks. You could give her that individualized instruction that some kids, that a lot of kids need, especially you talk about elementary students. So what advice would you have to parents who are now, or even people in the workforce who are now trying to become entrepreneurs, are forming new businesses while they're trying to balance parenthood? What advice would you give brand new entrepreneurs, hustlers, or
one of the main things I would say, especially during this time, is you're going to have to be acclimated with social media, because what's happening right now is forcing everybody to become virtual. It's forcing everybody to have that contingency plan to where they have that online component to their business. If you don't have an online component to your business right now, it's going to be very hard for you to be successful. To give you an example, I just did a series with some cosmetologists, and they said if they did not have their online component to where they were selling additional products or doing they would have not survived and had to close their shops, or doing a wig concierge where somebody can come in and clean their wigs and they bring it back to them. They had it all used online basis. So if it wasn't for that, they would have not survived. So for those becoming entrepreneurs, you have to become acclimated with social media and have some kind of virtual base to your business, because it has to be of a brick and mortar. Because if you're just doing the brick, it's going to be very hard, because you have no idea what's going to happen during this COVID-19. So you have a lot of enterprises that are closed their doors, and they're not back up since COVID, because they cannot survive. Those here in Atlanta, look at the restaurants. Arizona's, we all know Arizona's, they shut down. They couldn't even come back open. They couldn't survive the 2 months that they were closed. They were closed within 2 months. That was my spot to go and listen to live music. So they could not survive. So you have to be able to have that component to where you can have an online structuring in order to survive during this time. You also have to research your business, because now that we're online, they're going to have a lot of online companies right now that's doing what you do. You have to find your niche. You have to be unique. You have to find out what's going to make you stand out above the rest. That requires research. Some people may call it stalking your competitor. You have to stalk your competitor to see exactly what they're doing, so you can do something different to make you stand out above the rest. Absolutely. If not, it is not going to survive.
Absolutely. And you said something there. You definitely want to stand out above the rest. One thing that I know and I am sure of and I stand on, not only do you do your research, like you said, and you study your competitors, not necessarily because you're trying to mimic them, but you want to see what it is you can probably provide an edge to, because it's all about what are you providing the consumer. And let me just say this too, if you stay in prayer, stay constant in prayer, God will give you witty ideas and witty inventions. And you can't be so of the mindset that what somebody else is doing, that you miss what you're supposed to be doing. Because I'm telling you, God will give you an idea, and don't think that you're the only one who's giving it to. Be slowful if you want to, and he will give that idea to somebody else. Somebody else will pray about it, will be obedient to his voice, and will run with it. And you'll still be sitting there watching, and it'll just be gone by. It'll be something, oh, I thought about that first. Well, should have ran with it. And don't think that just because you're not the only one in your niche or in your category that you can't be great also. It's room. The Bible says your gift will make room for you. It's room for all of us out here.
Everybody.
But in conversations with you, I've talked to you before, and you mentioned it's all about staying in your lane. You can't be so focused on what somebody else is doing that you lose sight of your lane and what it is you're supposed to be doing. So,
and just to give you some more insight, Dawn, an entrepreneur is a risk taker.
Yes.
So if you are not used to taking risks, then entrepreneurship is not for you.
Yep.
Majority of your visions come from God. And if he gave you that vision, he's not going to allow you to fail, because he gave it to you to actually move into that path. And then if you're so afraid, fear is not of God. If you're so afraid of that path, of that vision he has given you, then it's not going to work. Then once it's put in the atmosphere, as you stated, is going to be traveling and moving to the next person that God is going to entrust to be able to take out that path or take out that destiny or move towards that destiny or that vision he has given you, because you were so afraid to move forward. As an entrepreneur, and I would say that I'm a serial entrepreneur.
I would say that
does multiple things and have multiple businesses. And if I would have sat back and thought about, dang, I don't have the finances for this. I don't have the resources for this. I don't have this. Those things would have not flourished. And once I was given that vision, I took off running, because I knew to move forward with it, that it has always worked, because I walked in faith and not fear.
You have to. Absolutely. Faith, not fear. Absolutely. And you mentioned something about being a risk taker. That is so true. I was reading something earlier. I don't know if I was reading something that talked about the only way you can feel comfortable being a risk. Oh, it was talking about having multiple streams of income and the importance of us as a people. And we talked earlier a little bit before you came on about how our people are kind of coming up without new reparations, aka SBA government loan. A lot of people are coming on up in the world, but we have to be smart about how we're coming on up in the world. Are we taking that money and just bulk spending, or are we taking that money and investing? Are we taking that money in financing for multiple streams of income? Because when you put yourself in a place where you have multiple streams of income, especially when those streams are give me the word, when it's not revolving, when those streams are provided based on royalties and not necessarily on your handwork, when those streams are that way, then you'll be able to become more of a risk taker. So we got to be smart about finances. So I really appreciate you for sharing that, because you are a serial entrepreneur. It's crazy. You have me sleep, girl. But one thing I wanted to talk about was, um, and we talked about it a little bit earlier, is in this time, a lot of people are searching for their purpose, especially in this time. And it's kind of like people are sitting with just with time, it's sitting kind of on their hands trying to figure out what they need to do. So what kind of ideas can you give in order for people to get more involved in their community? And you can speak openly about, our community, the community that you are leading very well, and it's almost like it's unofficially, but you are leading very well. But what can you say about getting involved in the community?
Well, first, you have to have a heart for people and you have to have a heart for change.
Yeah.
If you want to see something different, you have to say, I want to help make a difference in being involved. You can't expect somebody to always come to you and say, hey, would you like to volunteer?
Right.
Sometimes it takes us getting off of our wonderful derrieres
Yeah.
and getting up to be involved and say, I want to see my community look like this. I want to see a change. I want to see a difference.
Yeah.
I want to know what's happening in my local government. Number
Mm-hmm.
one, I want to know what's happening with my property taxes. I want to know why we don't have this. I want to know why we don't have these various things.
Yeah.
You have to be the one to go do the research, especially if you're a parent. You want to know everything that's happening within your county, within your city, within your state. Those are the three places you definitely need to know first what's happening.
Yeah.
And then federal is the last part because, as you know, the president is basically a figurehead. But you want to know about everything that's happening, and you have to say, I want to make a difference.
Yeah.
Not only that, when you find out information, you have to share it.
Have to share.
You have to share it with somebody else. Say, hey, look, this is happening, or such and such meeting has happened at this time. We need to know about what's happening in the community. Let's go. Let's all be there. It happens every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. We're gonna be there to find out what's happening with the community. As they always say, you can't constantly keep complaining.
What
you have not done anything about it.
What are you gonna do?
It takes one person to make a difference. And then once somebody see you making a difference or getting up and doing change, and somebody else is going to follow behind you. You have to be the catalyst. You have to be the one. Sometimes you might be the leader that's called to do it. Sometimes we don't want to accept that role, but if God put us in that place, that's our job to do that. But you have to say, I want to make a difference and I want to see change. You can't constantly keep complaining about who's in office or complaining about who's doing this and then the other if you have not done anything.
What you're gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? So with that being said, I'm just gonna put a little plug in. Can you tell the people one thing that you are partnering with on Fridays in July, and then your the ABCs of voting modules? Talk a little bit about those.
Yes, every well, I wouldn't say every Friday, but well, I guess it will be every Friday in July. We've partnered with a local church to be able to give food to the community. During this time, during this pandemic, everybody is suffering. There's no need for somebody to be ashamed or be afraid. Come out and get it. If it's provided for you, come out and get the food. Don't matter what you're driving or whatever. Come and get it.
Trying to give it away.
Come and get it. So at 9 o'clock Friday and every Friday in July, right at the West Precinct Kroger parking lot off Salem Road, Sheriff Office, West Precinct Kroger Parking Shopping Center. You can come and be blessed and get you some boxes, not just boxes of food.
Telling you.
Border is going to be there this Friday giving away 1,000 gallons of milk. And we also have another organization who just contacted me today to provide some more food. There's going to be a special line for our essential workers, which is our firefighters, our police officers, our teachers, our doctors, our emergency workers. All of them, it's going to be a special line for you because I know you have to get back to work. So make sure you come with your badges. It's open to everybody in the community. It's open to those who are not even in District 3. It's open to Newton County, Rockdale County, DeKalb County. Come on out because there's plenty that's going to be provided. We're having 2 trucks, not one this time, 2 trucks that are coming this time with food. So you need to come out starting at 9 o'clock every Friday in July, and it also possible be in August, but we want to get July done first. But every Friday in July. So be blessed and come on out. Kroger parking lot, State Road, Covington, Georgia. Sheriff Office, West Precinct. Shout out to Sheriff Ezel Brown, who is allowing us to use the parking lot. He is also coming out. I love seeing figureheads and people, politicians in the area that come out and help. I believe in that. That's the people put us there. So we are there for the people. So shout out to his deputies that actually comes out and direct the traffic. So make sure you come and get your blessing. It is there for you. Do not be afraid. Do not be ashamed. This is not the time to do that. If you have kids, come out and get it. Even if you're by yourself and you're struggling, come out and get it.
I'm in the group Raising Our Sons in America. If you guys want to volunteer to help give out groceries, you can click on the link in the group. I sent a link earlier. We'll send it out, or you can go to our website and you can just fill out your information in the website, and we'll send you an email for the link of how you can participate. And Rosa is also sponsoring at the grocery giveaway. We're sponsoring an on-site voter registration. So if you know somebody who needs more information on voting or who wants to go ahead and sign up to register to vote, go ahead and come on out and they can do that. There is a drive-through option as well to register to vote. So we have everything, and everything is safe and socially distanced for you. Okay. And then one last thing we want to drop into you is the ABCs of voting, Alana.
Yes. Okay. The ABCs of voting.
Yes.
John and I, the last 2 weekends in July, the last Tuesday and Thursday. I'm trying to remember the dates. I know the first one is the 24th. I'm trying to remember the dates. The 24th always is July 3rd. And so the ABCs of voting. Voting is so important. It is your civic duty.
It is.
When I was out campaigning, I've had people say my vote does not matter. Why should I vote? And as you can see in this last election, it was so important that you voted and you made a difference. Georgia rocked the House with the vote for the last election. June 9th election, you guys came out and you showed out. Newton County had the highest ever record voters ever in history for June 9th. You guys made a difference. If it wasn't for you guys coming out, I wouldn't be here. Let's keep it real. So, I mean, you guys came out and you showed out. So it's so important. You're voting for, we're out protesting for Black Lives Matter. We're out protesting for various things to make a difference. The people that make a difference are the ones that you vote for. Your judges, your DAs, all these, your commissioners, your mayors, all these people that you need to, that you want to make a difference in your community to stop things that are happening. You vote them in. And as I said, I was on the campaign trail. If they're not doing the things of your liking, you vote them out.
And vote.
You have that power. That's why they're trying to suppress your vote. That's why they're trying to stop you from voting. That's why you've had many difficulties at the polls, because your vote matters. And they know it's going to make a difference in 2020. So August 11th and November 3rd, you need to come out. So Dawn and I, the last 2 weekends in July, are doing a voting series to tell you the importance of voting, what you need to do to vote, what you need to do to get an absentee ballot. How can you early vote? How can you beat the lines? Because right now, during COVID, it's going to be a little stressful for you to vote on the day of elections. So, day, August 11th and November 3rd, they have 3 weeks of early voting. So you have 3 weeks to get out and vote early, or you can turn in your absentee ballot. So we're going to talk about all those different voting laws you need to know. Provisional voting. A lot of people don't know. Provisional voting. Your rights you have when they try to turn you around at the actual polls. You can actually still cast your ballot. A lot of people have no idea about their laws. That are at these polls, that you have your rights. So we're going to talk about all those things that's going to be provided for you, give you those dates. So make sure you tune in, because it's going to be so important. You tell a friend to tell another friend, because it's about educating each other. And once you become educated, as you know, that's something that cannot take away from your education. Once you know, Nobody can take it away
Yeah.
from you.
Especially our older community, our elderly who really kind of find it hard to get out and vote. Really, really have them, even if you have to go over there and pull up your Facebook account and show them the ABCs of voting, and even just talk to them about an absentee ballot because their
Right.
voice counts. Every voice counts. Every voice matters. So please share that. And again, all of this will be posted in the Raising Our Sons in America group, as well as in District Three's page, District 3 of Newton County. And then, of course, you can go to Commissioner-elect Alana Sanders and find information there as well. So again, just to recap, there's a free grocery giveaway this Friday at 9 a.m. at the West Newton Sheriff's Precinct here in Newton County. And then there's some other things going around the county at Excel Church. For those of you in this community, in the Rockdale community, Excel Church is giving away free groceries or free meals to go. I believe they're also giving away fresh vegetables and fruits, fresh produce, and things like that this week. So just go to their church, their website as well. And there are a couple other places. But if you know of anybody, this is a safe place to network. If you know of anybody or anyone, or if you have some things or some resources that you can share with the village, please do so. Okay. And I believe that was it. So glad you could join us, Commissioner. We appreciate it. You are a wealth of knowledge. So glad everybody else you could join us, village. We are going to share this live. It will be available on our YouTube channel as well. So if you have not subscribed to Raising Our Sons in America on YouTube, feel free to do that so you can watch the past lives as well. All righty, guys. Until next time, until next Monday, see you. Hopefully see you Friday. Thanks, Elena. See you guys.